This do now is going to take up page 40 and 41. So here's page 40. Let's go ahead and write do now. Let's get this focus so it doesn't shift around. Okay, so you are going to take a couple of skills that you already have and combine them. So watch, I'm going to give you this equation. Now, we have never seen an equation quite like this before, where x is being squared and there's x over here. If we were to graph this, it would not be a straight line, so this is totally new to us. But we're going to take some of the skills that we already have, and we're going to work with this equation and see what we can make of it. Okay, so I'm going to give you x values, okay, and you're going to show the work, and then you're going to come up with the y values. Now, I'm going to do one. So I'm going to do an example right here, and then you're going to do one. Okay, so I'm going to start. First x value I'm going to work with is -2. So I'm going to take this x value, I'm going to plug it into this equation, I'm going to get a y value. So what does that look like? Y equals, I'm plugging in, so here I see x, I'm going to put parentheses, right? It's x squared, I'm going to put parentheses squared, it's -2 squared, plus 3 times x minus 5. Okay, let me move this over a little bit. Give myself plenty of space for my work. Okay, so what happens next? This is -2 squared. That's -2 times -2. That's 4. This is 3 times -2, right? This is positive 3 times -2. Positive times negative is negative. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm bringing down minus 5. Okay, now I'm just going to use order of operations here. For minus 6 is -2 minus 5. So this is -2, 2 holes in my boat, minus 5. Another 5 holes in my boat, that's 7 holes in my boat. So when x is -2, y is -7. Okay, go ahead and plug in 0 for x. Okay, so I'm plugging in, this is still my equation, I'm plugging in 0, right? I'm going to plug in 3 x values and I'm going to find their y values. So I'm going to plug in 0. So that looks like this, 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 5. What's 0 squared? That is 0. What's 3 times 0? That is 0. Bring down minus 5. What does this equal? 0 plus 0 is still 0, minus 5, that's -5. So when x is 0, y is -5. Okay, we're going to plug in one more number. We're going to plug in the number 3. And again, this is an example. You're going to do yours right below. Okay, so y equals x squared. So this is going to be 3 squared plus 3 times x. So I'm plugging in 3 minus 5. Let's do the work here. 3 squared, that's 3 times 3, that's 9. Oh, 3 times 3 again, that's also 9. Minus 5. So this becomes 9 plus 9 is 18. Minus 5. Y equals 13. Okay, so I get, right, so this is actually like 3 points, right? Like there's 3 points on this graph. Now I'm not going to graph it right now, but this is 3 points on this graph. This is an x value and a y value, right? And we know that an x value and a y value can be a point on a graph. Okay, so go ahead and right now I'm going to give you your 3 problems that you need to do for your do now. Okay, so the first is just like this one. You're going to use this as an example. Your equation is y equals x squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, careful here. When you're multiplying this -4 times x, that's a -4. So like if you multiply it by negative, it's going to become positive. If you multiply it by positive, it's going to become negative. Okay, and you're going to plug in -3 for x. You're going to plug in 0 for x. And you're going to plug in 5 for x. Okay, so you're copying this down. You're going to show the work right here and give me the y value over here. Okay, so pause and copy that if you need to. And then I'm going to put 2 problems over here on the right side on page 41. Okay, so that's your first, right? This is, we'll call this number 1. That's your first practice problem you're going to do right now as your do now. Here's problem number 2 you're going to do. Copy this down. If the slope of a line equals -4, and the line passes through this point, 3, -2. Okay, so here's what we know. So the line is -4, it passes through 3, -2. What's the y-intercept? okay? And if you need a little hint, you're going to use this equation to figure it out. You're going to plug in what you know and you're going to figure it out, okay? And then your final problem that you're going to do for this do now, call this problem number 3. Go ahead and copy this down, right? If you didn't copy this down, pause right now, copy it. On problem number 3, you're going to solve this equation. Okay, copy carefully. Make sure you catch all the signs. Make sure like you catch that this is an x. There's no x on this one. Okay, equals. Okay, so that is your do now, those 3 problems.